everybody, Cal Forever here. Figured I'd make another spiritual journal flow. I think my divine counterpart is making videos today. I feel like I want to just go to the beach. I just want to go to California. And I want to get out of Sedona, but I can't because my family's coming to visit finally. Well, my mom and my sister, and I'm starting to get excited about it. And I feel like I'll be able to make a big resolution with my family. You know, especially since my dad's out of the picture. Kind of that old, stubborn, patriarchy kind of male energy that saw things as one way, but really stuffed down the female intuitive kind of nature of things. Like, tends to get in the way of you know, being your open-hearted, intuitive, spiritual self, right? And to get on the subject of spiritual friggin' bullies. So, like, holy cow. I like being in this divine joy energy. That's where it's at. It's about facing your shadow as well. So, if you're not in divine joy, and if you're feeling depression, sadness, anxiety, anger, you know, just as long as you're not lashing out at others, you know, or abusing people, and owning your shadow, right? Unlike this spiritual bully, you know, Sedona's chock full of these sorts of characters where, like, people tend to, like, talk about all these spiritual things and being spiritual ego, but they're not really embodying the teachings. They don't really understand them, you know, and they're not really being loving and kind. So if your spiritual practice isn't making you any more kind, you know, and loving, then it's like, what's the whole point? You're not anchoring in the light to the planet. You're anchoring in pain and suffering. You know? You come up to me like, oh, all these spiritual, like a freaking spiritual warrior badass. Like, I'm a spiritual warrior badass. Not you, bro. You're an aggressive, like, unstable person. You're scary to be around. And it's just painful to be around your energy. And I feel like kind of betrayed that my roommate, I don't know if my roommate slept with this person, but I feel kind of betrayed that she would lower her self-worth for someone and like get lost in a facade of someone who says all these things but then goes off and treats people like absolute shit. You know, and bullies people, and, like, you know, even other women, you know? Like, because my friend that, you know, I went to the sweat lodge with, like, she opened up something personal to this guy, or to me, and he was there, and was vulnerable. And it's like, we need to feel safe to be able to be ourselves and to express and to heal. So we cannot have idiots like this in Sedona that are bullies, that make us feel unsafe, you know? Because it's like when a woman opens their heart to someone and expresses something, and then someone just, like, laughs in their face or, like, uses it against them, that's not helpful for the women on this planet. That's not helpful for the men. That's not helpful for the children. It's not helpful for the environment. It's not going to bring about peace. You know? We need a world where we're safe to be ourselves, to express. You know, being around this person, I couldn't say one opinion, one belief, one experience of my own without getting trampled or preached at. You know, and I've been there where I've kind of been in this, and honestly, I think that was collective, because that was not me at all. You know, in my position where it was more like, what about me? You know, I'm just wanting to be heard and seen, and I'm not knowing how to externalize and express some of these feelings. So what did I end up doing? Taking time to be by myself. It's just, I was in situations where I'd be in conflict with my family. And I do feel bad about my own aggression, but this is different. Feels good just sitting here and sweating and just venting it. Like, bullies. And I'm pissed off that my roommate's probably still with this guy. You know? Like I feel betrayed. It's like one of your friends, you get in a fight with one person, and then your friend goes and hangs out with this other person behind your back and then sneaks them out of the house. That's fucked up. I feel backstabbed and betrayed, like that that my roommate would do this to me. But then again, I know that she didn't know that I got in a fight with this person. She didn't know that. And now she probably feels bad. She probably slept with this person. Now she feels bad about that, or is in denial of it. Or maybe she's still lost in the lustful stage of like, oh, some guy that talks about all these spiritual things, like he knows everything and da-da-da-da. Like, you know, like, there's not enough heart. And I don't deny someone, you know, spiritual experiences, but, you know, you can psychically read people and move energy and shit, but it's not very surface level if you're not in your, or it's just surface level shit if you're not in your heart. And the higher you go in the spiritual realms, or the deeper you go into your heart, the more loving you get. And that's what this shift is about. It's not about being the best psychic. Yes, ego is important. And when you integrate your ego, you know what integrating your ego is? It's daring to be yourself 100%. The divine in form, daring to be a person, being yourself 100%. Dare to be you. I think Matt Kahn said that. I think Jim Carrey said something like that too. Dare to be yourself. Because your ego is your character. It's you. It's what identifies and filters the unique part of the divine that you are in this reality. So, if you're just avoiding being you and using spiritual ego stuff that you may like but not integrating it, like you're in conflict with yourself. You know? And I've had that where I felt like I didn't want to be ego, because when I was like in 5th grade, I'd get bullied, right? 4th grade, I'd get bullied. And so I didn't like that kind of douchebag dominating alpha male energy. And so I kind of denied that as integrating that aspect of myself as an ego. When you integrate your ego, you witness yourself acting out in this way, third person. You know, I couldn't stand to see myself doing qigong and moving energy because I had this belief from when I was younger that it was weird. So I didn't want to integrate that ego and dare to be myself, and it made me feel this loving, weird feeling. But little bits at a time, I did it anyways, and I integrated little parts of my ego and unraveled the old traumas and misaligned things, and integrated the lessons too. So this is about integration. That's what this is about. This is about integration. And this is what's going to be popular in the spiritual communities, is like how integrated you are. Not how awake you are. Not how woke you are. You know? Not how many spiritual experiences you have under your belt. This and that. You know, like this reality is a spiritual experience. This is a spiritual reality. If you came from heaven or another dimension and you pierced through the veil and looked at this reality, you would be amazed in astonishment. This is a spiritual reality. I wake up every morning and I have inner visions and I feel this bliss energy flowing through me, and I take a few deep breaths and chant a mantra and expand my energy and soak up the sun, and I just feel this intense bliss energy just upgrading me and evolving me and energizing me and the world around me like an overflowing fountain of youth. You know? And I look at the trees and it's like I'm on mushrooms and like able to commune with the spirits of the trees and see auras, and it's like every day I have a spiritual experience. You know, there's been times where I've had more profound, intense ones. I'm just tired of people coming up to me like they're the only ones that have had those intense experiences. And dominating over other people. Like they don't know shit. Like they fell off the turnip truck yesterday. You know? And Sedona is really full of people like that. And it's a really good place to learn what not to do. So it is full of really good, annoying teachers. So, like, that was the worst. Because that person was dangerous. And it's also how you respond to it. Sometimes you need to not respond to certain people. Like in that situation, I'm like, if I say anything, it's going to trigger him. So I'm just going to gracefully go about this. And it got the point where it was like, you know what, dude? That's disempowering to you. And I totally owned him. I owned this guy. With my with my wisdom. Because I embody these things. I understand the things that I communicate to people. I don't just preach something that I don't have embodied and understand. You know? So, Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. I'm going to chant an Om all day. Chant a Psalm all day. Chant a Psalm. That's the Steel Pulse song. I'm going to chant an Om for everyone. Look, I'm sweating. This feels good. I need to do laundry. Man, I need to heal from this situation. Because this is triggering my... It's like I feel like I'm cheated on. Like this, like my roommate's not my girlfriend. But... And I don't have a crush on her. Because I'm dedicated to my divine counterpart. And she has her own experience of her counterpart. And oh, phone is getting warm. Is it still working? Oh, it's still working. Yay. So, what was I saying? It like triggers, whoa, look at that behind me. Is that like a face or something? Or a lion? I don't know. So, I guess we'll just go inside. It like triggers that part of myself. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Stay with me here. Like, yeah, my life partner is connecting with me. It triggers that, like, it's like high school and that bully jock sleeps with all the women and the women love the jock. And then people like me just get stuffed in the corner and like unrecognized and unloved by women. And it's like, why do these douchebaggy guys get to be with the women but not someone that's heart-centered and loving and caring that feels really worthy to be with that person? Why is that person that's worthy of so much more deciding to be with someone that my intuition is telling me is going to hurt them in the long run? You know? And that's the animalistic self. It's like, I get it. People get horny. And they just want to sleep with someone. You know? And that's where patience is going to be a virtue. You know? Sometimes we need to gain, you know, experiences sexually in relationships. But I think we really need to just be intimate with people. And actually in a relationship, like actually connecting with the person. If you're actually connected with the person wholeheartedly, you would never do anything to hurt them. So if anyone does anything knowingly to hurt someone else in that sort of way, it means the person doesn't care about that other person. They're not connecting with them. They care about what they're getting from that person. They care about the sex. You know, they care about the receiving love. not giving love, you know, just like dominating the women. It's like that male patriarchy dominate women kind of energy, and it triggers that in me. And I don't like this in the collective, and I feel like I'm here to like stand up for my roommate. And it's like, you know, my roommate's a free will being that can make her own decision. It's like we try to protect our own heart with the decisions of others by being loving to others and supportive and giving others advice when it feels appropriate. You know, she didn't know what went down between me and this crazy person the day before. And so she might feel bad, like, oh, I'm with like a psycho person again, and da 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 da. Like, I'm in a pickle. Do I get in denial? Do I just put on the rose colored glasses, like, oh, nothing, da, da, da. And do I blame another, like, oh no, Calvin, you're wrong, this person's loving? It's like, maybe this person's acting like that to you, but they're not a loving person. Because loving people don't do that, you know? And I'm a really loving person, and I've done some mean things, but that's kind of different than this. I'm not trying to compare myself with another. And I feel like maybe sometimes we do that with the mirror teaching. You know, just because someone's acting like a bully doesn't mean that it's because you're doing something wrong or that it's reflecting shit within you. Maybe it's just a situation that causes you to freaking take back your power as gracefully as possible, avoiding violence. You know, I don't like violence. And I feel like kind of betrayed. Like that my friend went behind my back and hung out with this person that was bullying me. And it felt good that my other friend yesterday stood up for me from this bully. I feel like that's what I've been wanting to heal, is someone to stand up for me. You know? And that's kind of an interesting situation. A woman standing up for another guy. Like, wow. So I feel loved. And I feel like supported by women right now, actually. I just feel this energy of support by women. Because I'm in my integrity. And I'm balanced in my male and female energy. And I have a good, authentic, in integrity intention. And yes, I get misunderstood. And I'm tired of people picking and prodding, da 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 da. You know, I'm still healing myself. Sometimes I drink beer. You know, I didn't drink yesterday. You know, I went the whole day without my little Juul vape pen. And I've only been doing that for like 2 weeks now. And like using cannabis for 2 weeks now to like get activations and upgrades and healing. And now it's kind of lost its effect. And my integrity is allowing things to serve me. You know, I know that I don't want, like, I like being sober, you know. So, smoking weed can be a bad thing. Smoking weed can be a good thing. Meditation can be a bad thing. You can meditate too much. You can use it to distract yourself, you know. So, yeah, I feel like there's about to be a breakthrough in probably a lot of our lives right now. And God, there's all this energy from other people swirling through me and my divine counterpart, my highest life partner. You know, I don't like it when someone treats me like shit and then they get pampered and then I get made look like I'm the unloving, uncompassionate, unenlightened one. Tired of that shit. You know? What about me? Cal Forever here. Thanks for listening. Peace.